All right. Wait, am I live? I don't know until I click this on. Hold on, I don't know if I'm live or not. Oh, I am. Hey guys, hey guys. Welcome to the Psy Tai Livestream with your host Ty. Oh, hopefully you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time this is coming at you. Take this energy now that we all in the same boat. We can start the conversation. Yes, you see, I got the new setup, or it's mostly just the camera pushed more back. Got the PlayStation games as the microphone stand. You know how we do over here in the Just Tie. But and I got the phone so I can see the live chat at the same time. And we got the first. Oh, what's going on, Trip Thorough? Trip Thorough. Yeah, this. He said, "Hey, bro, I was on lunch break. I tried to pop in and see your live because I never joined yours before." Oh, that's dope. Thanks for popping through. Thanks for showing your face. And good luck at the rest of your day at work and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't even know what this live is really gonna be about. I'm here, and I just want to thank y'all for being here today. And I'm going to touch on probably some like religion versus atheism, and just tie. We just going to just tie. Just tie is when you combine your mind with your heart, connect those two circles, and you let whatever come out just come on out. It is so weird we're talking with two hands instead of just one. But and also the Psy Tai podcast does not promote the use of illegal or legal drugs. What you do with your body is what you choose to do with your body. Do not recreate anything that you see or hear on this channel. This is for educational, documentational, and comedic purposes only. This is all just comedy, and we're going to learn from it. But let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Yeah, y'all saw the video I made yesterday about the biking things and anger. That was funny. That was funny. But yeah, I was reintroduced to one of my bros. Like, what I mean by reintroduce is when I see a YouTube video pop up or something that's me, and it was something from my past, but it's new. It's like me being reintroduced. So he was live yesterday. Mark Passio. Uh um he's an activist. He's an activist in the truth moment and the truth movement. And the truth movement is not just like, oh, truth, but it's an actual, that's the title of the group, the truth movement. And what he was saying, and I look up to him, or I vibe with him so hard as he's from South Philadelphia. I'm from North Philadelphia. So when during my awakening processes, if I ran into him and he was talking about the occult and talking about the dark occultists, and he was somebody that got out of his Satanism, and now he talks about what was going on behind the scenes, and he's just totally off the hip honest, just as like I am. It's that Philly vibe. It's that real Philly vibe. But he was live yesterday, and it was dope listening to him because it was just like, yo, this is what's going on, because the field that he talks about is, well, that he ties on is, in public at least, is how we're enslaved. How, and what I mean by we is humanity. Humanity is enslaved. And we're entrapped. And a lot of people think that they're free, but they're really not. And y'all know how we talk over on this channel. But yeah, he talks a lot and about the occult, and like really trying to reveal it to people that's waking up to this knowledge, that's waking up and not afraid to have an open mind, not afraid to have an open mind. So I really do accredit a lot of me actually going out into the world and doing this great work, this magnus opus, to him. So I just want to put that there. Thank you, Mark Passio, because it's not people out here telling the truth, especially with a face behind the camera, especially with a face behind the camera. People probably put out some books, and probably put out books or things like that, or some real popular YouTube videos don't even have a face behind it, and they just taking video clips from other things and things like that. But to actually have a face in front of the camera, he was one of those people that pushed me to say, "Yo, you got to talk this truth." And that's what started like the first couple Just Tie episodes where I was talking about vibration and natural law. Natural law. That's what I really want to get on today. Is natural law. And natural law is like, if you break down that word, NTR, in the Egyptian word, because y'all know, like in the old Egyptian hieroglyphs and then Hebrew writing and things, they got rid of the vowels. Like, you just fill in the vowels without, I believe your intuition fills it in. Or if you were just part of that culture and know how to talk it, you just fit it in. You just got it like that. But in the Egyptian, when they translated it from the hieroglyphs to the Coptic, which is a language that a script that was written after they got rid of picture writing, hieroglyphs, and started writing in like scripts and stuff. It was NTR, and NTR was like nectar. Oh, and what that meant was that was the Egyptian word for God. That was the Egyptian word for God, NTR. And now we see how our word nature, NTR, take away all the vowels, is the same word. This is where it literally comes from. So when I start mentioning, and when Mark mentions natural law, it's not something that we made up. It's God's law. And you know how we talk on the Just Tie channel when it comes to that word God and things like I use it because it's just simply, it's easy for me to roll off the tongue and say that word, but y'all know what we really mean. Not just some guy floating around the cloud, just judging like striking people with lightning and things like that. But that the galactic consciousness of whatever that we're in, however, whatever meaning term you want to put behind it, that's what God is. And it's like, it's wild because y'all hear me mention Richard Dawkins, how my story plays into this. Richard Dawkins is an evolutionary biologist who talks heavily on atheism, so much heavily that he puts out books and documentaries on promoting atheism and backing it by science, backing it through science. Now, scientism is a real thing, right? Scientism is something like when you find a scientist or somebody that wholly believes in science and they got rid of religion and things like that. Like, they say, "Oh man, religion fucked me up growing up. I got cool in school and I've learned how to science and I know that this is it. This is legit. This is what the case is." So then that's what I was going on, and I ran to Richard Dawkins and things. So I went straight atheist. Went straight atheist on the belief of science. And look at that words. When atheist on the belief of science, and not just real science, scientism. Because when you break it down, real science is always asking why. It's always asking things in the form of a hypothesis, not in the form of a definition of this is what is. Because now we're even seeing things that deal with Newtonian mechanics and things that deal with the laws that say if you push this, it's going to transfer that energy at the same rate and all of that stuff. We seeing that rule does not always apply. Newtonian mechanics, which is what most of our physics is, and all of that, and just what a lot of people are familiar with, is not all that's going on. Now this new quantum realm, and what Niels Bohr and what Einstein was trying to hint to, but he just said spooky action at a distance to the public. But I really want to know what he was really tying on in his own mind. That he was like, man, I can't even put this out. Like, if he was saying that, or if only in the public, like I look at it like that. If in the public, Einstein was only able to say, oh, if you move this atom, like if they get entangled and spread apart thousands of miles, if you hit that one and this one moves like simultaneously, then that's spooky action at a distance. I don't think he really talked like that. I think he knew so much more, but he didn't want to say it to the public. But when it comes to scientists, real scientists, they really understand it. This is why I appreciate the Joe Rogan podcast, where he brings in these scientists to talk about what's going on in their lives, the equations that they dealing with. Because the watered down version that we get in school, the like you gotta know these textbooks that's in school are is government funded. It's government funded to fit an agenda. Like we all giving up on Columbus Day. Like nobody want to celebrate Columbus Day. But where did you learn about Columbus Day? In a textbook. You read it in a textbook that Columbus was paid by the Queen of England and he came over to find gold and all this stuff. And whoa, what is this? I mean, to go get spices from India. And whoa, what is this land mass? Oh, wow, this wasn't here before. And he just ran into America or the islands off America. Yeah, right. He knew where he was going. He knew where he was going. And but besides just think about these things. But the books are government funded in the schools. That's how the teachers ain't paid for them. The teachers ain't paid for those books, and it's standardized. Like that word standardized means that it fits a certain standard. Whose standard is that? The government, the people with all the money that's going to pay for the books and pay for the schooling that people have put in power to be responsible for these said schoolings. We gave them this power. We gave them this power. Don't ever forget that. And the only way it can be taken is if we take it away, and not just one person running up shooting people and things like that. But no, we as in everybody getting a clue, even the people in the government. But we will. I'm not out the the preach. I'm just letting the information flow. I'm letting the information flow. Just tired, just tired, just tired. Just think about these things. Just think about these things. But the books and the schooling and everything, is by science, and science likes to fit a certain standard in order to fit a model story. Like, oh, the Big Bang happened, and this, and then heated superheated gas, and the moon was formed from hitting the Earth. Like all of these are hypotheses that when you really graduate from high school and do your 4 years of bachelor's, and you start really hanging out with scientists, you'll see how much your mind changes and things like that, or at least I would think, because that's how. In order to get to the quantum realm and things like that, you got to leave behind the Newtonian mechanics, and that's what's shocking these scientists. But they keep going, and they don't know how to translate it to the public that much. And by the time it gets out to the public eye, it's so dumbed down that people are now using like science mechanics in order to explain what's going on with them when that's not really what it's saying. But that's another story. That's another story. People muck up information. People really fuck up information. And then yeah, with the scientism and really getting into that, you start getting into atheism and how Mark was correlating this to natural law. And I really, he this is something that he was talking about years back. He been saying the same message for years. So I heard this years ago, and my life really has been turning into, now I can experience this and talk about it myself, because natural law is in existence, is does exist no matter what anybody says. And the ones that are trying to make it not mean anything, they want it to not mean anything so that people can, so that if it is man that creates everything, man, like and y'all know Tai'ers how we talk. What I mean by man is this AI, artificial, animalistic body, this body right here, or not even animalistic, we're above the animals because of our cortex and things like that. But this AI 3D body right here, that if it doesn't have us, if this is what's creating everything, then we can change morals of man however we want, and we can take them away too. Like we could take away rights, and we see this in all the totality regimes, and where they'll say, oh well, y'all just don't have no rights anymore, oh y'all just can't eat this anymore, y'all can't just go there anymore, and oh y'all just can't do this anymore. And America is slowly but surely coming up on this, because America's like, man, we too smart, man. We can't, we'll never fall for nothing like this. Nah, nah, not me. No, not ever. Nah, man. But if you really tie on it, they know that these social engineers. I remember talking about the dark occultists in a previous video. Like, I don't really like using that word dark occultist because it sounds like I'm talking in some story tale land. But hey, this is a living fairy tale. This is a living fairy tale, man. But and but is people that know how consciousness works, knows how people are run, and knows how people can be manipulated, and even know that it takes some times, and sometimes it takes generations, and even in the flashes, it's just so worked out. And like, when you an architect that engineers a building, knows where every screw is, man, blueprinted it out. And then when you see the building, you're not even thinking about the screws or none. When you see tall skyscrapers, and most you thinking about, oh, how did they put the glass panels together, or how did they put the main structure? But it was a lot of planning that went into that skyscraper. So it is a lot of planning that goes into culture, especially since there's money involved, especially since there's always been money involved in this kind of stuff. Money and power. Money and the power. That's what it's always been. So, with that being like that, hold on, let me look on here. My bad. Yeah, so with the I got off the tangent. Hold on one second. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for tuning into the Psy Tai live stream. Please drop a like, subscribe to this video. But what yeah, it doesn't make sense. And another cool point that Mark Passio had pointed out was that if you say to an atheist and things like that, like, then why be good if nothing really exists? If nothing, everything was here completely random, then why be good? Why be good if it doesn't matter in the end? Like, these set of laws, natural law is like, you. I get it from the hermeticism. That's how I found ran across these natural law principles in this set of form. And it's in other religions, just more encoded, But hermeticism is like brought more to the face value, like dealing with the laws of polarity, how everything has like how hot and cold is the same thing, but it's just different. It's opposite sides of the pole of the spectrum. The principle of gender, how everything has a masculine and feminine property. The principle of correspondence, as above, so below. The principle of vibration, how everything is a frequency, always vibrating, and it's just and treating humans as not doing other things to humans that you would not want done unto yourself. Not doing things that you would want done to another human. Not doing things to another human that you would not want them to do to yourself. Overall, that's what it is. And there's some other things. We're going to really break it down in another episode. But for right now, but for right now, that's what this is about. Scientism wants to really be the forefront. Oh, that's what I was going to. How in America we think that we're so smart that we can never be contained in a box. We think that we can that the government that we're vocal enough about the government they are never going to be able to have a regime where they can where we even call it a regime. We just call it a the government run, the presidential 4 8 years, and we say, oh, they ain't gonna be in there for this years and things like that. But no, it's a lot more. It's a lot more going on. And there's some point that keeps on slipping out of my mind. It keeps on slipping out of my mind. What is it? And that is that Oh yeah, with the yeah, wow, yeah, this truth is going to get out, and that is that America is getting slipped up. We talked about this in the last three movies we talked about, and what I was talking about before with the 5G and the VR, and the social credit system that's going to start coming out. Like, oh man, you cursed, you get a ticket, or oh, you called this guy a transgender, you get a ticket, you get fined, and things like that. That's what's happening in Demolition Man, and we seeing this now happening through social media, through the power that social media is given, that we have given over our lives and over our emotions, and how much we say, oh yeah, Twitter, you can exist. Here goes some more power. Here goes some more of our information, our essence. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. So that's what that's about. And and so we're going to be pressured. It's going to feel like, it's not going to feel like a force, because it's going to feel like a pressure that we put on ourselves to say, oh well, I don't want to say this, it might hurt that person, or I don't want to speak up against that person getting hurt, because I don't know what's really going on in they rim of reality. I wasn't there. But if somebody's getting hurt, if somebody's in a slave, then you got to talk, let's free that person. And if they, and but it's wild because some people like being slaves. Some people are willing slaves. The devil on the tarot card, the devil card, where you see the two, the male and the female, in the chains with the so-called like devil figure behind them with chains around their neck. They chains are loose around their neck. Like at any moment in time, they are able to slip them off, but they want to stay like that. They want to stay like that. And it's wild because the wanting is all part of the program, and that they're not aware that they're part of in the first place. And it's wild when you wake up out of that. That's why we was talking about and Total Recall, when he was going inside the mushroom like machine with the blue around him, and but it was a mistake, and he woke up and he was like, wow, what is going on? There's so much bullshit going on around me. What is this? What is this? Or Sylvester Stallone and Demolition Man, when he woke up in the future to what's what's kind of going on today, with not being able, with people just giving up on what it is to be human, and to actually learn from mistakes and things like that, because they're put so much pressure and built society around all those pressures now. So now the cops didn't even wasn't even able to handle a hard situation. And that's the complete opposite of what's happening now. But these social engineers are, I'm jumping around, you know how I talk, but these social engineers are know what chaos does, knows how, what it is when you flood ideas into a society, into a group of people, and not really explain it, but just like throw points out there, just throw points like Russian bots, or just bots on Twitter, or bots just saying things just to get people to pit people against each other. Like, yeah, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, rockets, nuclear war. Like, do we really want to go to that? Do we really want to end it like that? But we really going to be giving a lot of people really willingly giving themselves over to all this fast technology, because Americans, we like flashy things. We like the flash, we like the money, the jewelry, and even if the technology looks sleek, we like, yo, I need that. I need that. I want to exist in that. And it's cool to use that as a tool. It's cool to embrace technology when it comes to us as like a relationship, as if it's like a pet, another being, and things like that. But when we say, "Oh gosh, I don't know how to handle my own reality. I'm a child in my brain. I give myself over to scientism and atheism." Like, people will think, people mostly that's atheists, they real strong headed, they real logical, real tight, rigid about their thought processes and how they think about things. So that's the so when I say that it's like a child mind brain, that to them is not going to really correlate, because they like, yo, I thought my way, I'm an adult in order to reach this point. Well, I see this just as much as giving yourself over to a religion, and we're going to get to that in a bit. But when it stands for the 5G and the VR and things like that, the advertisements and just doing things for likes. Like I ain't gonna do that in that way because people are not. I'm not gonna get as. I'm gonna get um. I'm gonna get 50 likes instead of 200 likes if I do it that way. I gotta wear this. I gotta have that Nike swoosh on my shirt. I gotta have stuff like that. I gotta have the Gucci band around my shirt, or I ain't gonna. I ain't gonna be popping. I ain't gonna get the likes. In that Black Mirror episode, I go back to where the lady wasn't able to go on certain flights, go on certain movies, attend certain social events, because we're a community. Humans, we love each other. We really want to be like tight knit with each other all day, every day. I don't care what it is you say, until we want to go into other dimensions, and then we still want those people to come with us because they so tight knit. The tight knit, that's who we want to travel to hyperspace with. But we want this communication, we want this connection so much that, and our society has not built us with the right tools, because the way the monetary system is, with money leaves people poor, and with that, and with the social engineers flooding guns and drugs into the hood. I'm from the projects in Philly, so I know about like random guns appearing in the hood, drugs, and True Life was talking about this as well. So it's wow. It's You hear it everywhere. You hear it everywhere. Like, you don't just get AK-47s and all of this high grade military gun gear just in the hood for no reason. Like, guys can't make that. Niggas can't just make guns. Like, that stuff came from somewhere. And y'all see how cocaine was planted everywhere, starting in Cuba, and how the CIA had so much to deal with that. Freeway Ricky Ross would tell you about that, and not the rapper, the real Freeway Ricky Ross. And it's just real. It's just real out here, guys. And and the social media is a real tool that's going to be used to get us. It's being already being used to get us. That's why people are attacking celebrities. Like, just little people attacking celebrities and making whole celebrities like, and celebrities, I'm not saying that celebrity is a star and a celebrity got everything together, but celebrities deleting their whole accounts with millions of followers, just because they said something wrong when they said something that offended somebody on the account, and now the Twitter just raged on them, and now they like, oh gosh, I can't take this no more. Or some celebrities are the pure example, because they're purely superficial, and what I mean by that is that they're purely three-dimensional. They may have the artiste thing to bring out some, not even that's the yeah, a lot of people are babies in the mind, and they come off as strong because they got the jewelry and the money and the status and the totality of the culture, and whatever culture they decide to pop up in. But it's a lot of people out here that don't really know what they're talking about, and that's why they're going to therapy for 10, 20 years. Talking to a therapist that's most times is indoctrinated himself. But that's how the near and there. It's a lot of different people around this world. Hopefully you run into the right person if you decide to talk to somebody. Whew. But yeah, and it flips over to religion, and um religion, if you really break this down, the etymology of the word regardle, regardle, and that means to bound, to like box in, to bind, and that's what religion is. And religion is not just like Christianity and Islam and the world religions that you hear, but all of this other things that we tie about, like mainstream media. All of those things are all of those mainstream media, money, with solipsism, like thinking that nothing exists and nothing matters and things like that. I used to be like that. I used to be totally like that. I used to say, no, I was emo growing up. You know that term emo. I was like, yo, nothing really matters. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. And those are all forms of religion. Like I don't. I got a whole episode heard me say I don't believe in nothing. Well, I do not believe in anything on this channel. I'm just tying, just tie, just tie, just tie. That is my mantra to like say, hey, these are thoughts. These are just words I'm using to communicate an idea, and the idea is always so much bigger than what words are utilized for. And it's more of an action, more of a doing, and that's even still just a resemblance, a shadow of it. But while we're here in this 3D realm, while we're here just able to physically touch each other and things like that, we're gonna work together. We're gonna work together. And well, yeah, it means to bond. And a lot, yeah, we don't believe nothing. We just tying and things like that. That's what I'm doing. And things change. That's why if somebody was to jump into the chat room right now, yeah, y'all know how it is on the Ty thing, man. If y'all jump into the chat, leave a comment. We start a video off of what y'all was just tying about. But yeah, this is all thoughts. Those thoughts I'm just communicating as always, as always, as always. I got this thought in my head, a Mark Passio, and it's just bringing me back to the days, just bringing me back to the days, guys. When I was starting this channel, I was working at a school, and after school I would just hurry up and set up a camera because they had a big white screen. I was like, "Yo, man, I got to speak this truth." It's funny because my first episode was about truth and about the sound of truth and what does it sound like when you hear it and how it varies. It really varies, and it's the truth of the moment. It's the truth of the moment. And then in the next moment, it can be a whole nother truth. But as long as I'm sticking to what's most true in that moment, I think I'm gonna be able to have a step above, or I'm gonna be able to ride that wave a little flowy, and it won't be all riggedy and rockety and things like that. Things like that, man. But yeah, subscribing to any belief system is really a way of tying myself down to reality. And I experienced during this my psychedelic journeys as well, because I experienced being away from everything, and then I feel myself attaching myself to little things. But in that realm, I have now been able to say, oh, I don't want to go back and attach to this, and it's still integration, it still takes time and things like that, but I'm able to come back and say, oh wow, I was watching too much TV, or I was eating too much of this, or I was doing um being too angry and upset about the situation like this, and not really letting it flow and come into like a third person view conclusion. I was playing out the drama of life. I was playing out that drama that you see on sitcoms. Like that's what most people are living in. Most people are living in the sitcom. In a sitcom, just like the Truman Show. Just like the Truman Show. People are living in a sitcom, and they haven't waken up to the fact that, hey, let's get past this. Let's not work on these let's not act out these energies that's going to play out these funny yet same situations out. Because you probably think you're the only one going through this, but it's somebody else playing out the same thing, doing the same thing. But that's how that was going. And when it goes to religion, and I grew up in a Christian church, so that was my religion. Y'all know that. Y'all know that story. And I was subscribed to money, and I was subscribed to women, like wanting women. Probably not as much as other people, but the desire is always there to connect with your Amina, with to connect with your Amina. So that desire was always there. So that's how that was. But it was subscribed to a lot of things, and it was programmed from from my dad, from my mom, from my grandma, other people that um just wasn't hip to what was going on. Wasn't hip with what was going on. And that's what I want to go back. That was another cool point that Mark pointed out. Mark Passio pointed out was that a lot of people aren't hip to the real science. So when people give up science and say science is just bullshit and crap and things like that, they don't. That's because they've been fed the watered down version. But now it's time to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Like I believe our technology is going to become symbiotic with consciousness, with our identities and things like that. You see this in the cartoons sometimes where like they have their favorite robot pal or the Transformers, or you see that love, that bond you have with your computer is right now is people playing on that bond that you have, and it's going to be fulfilled with money, fulfilled with money, just trying to get money out. You like like in-app purchases. Oh, I thought this was free. No, no, in-app purchases. You want these coins? You want that? You want this app? Or just the way that's grabbing our attention with social media and stuff overall without really giving that much back in return. But soon I think technology is going to be giving us a lot back in return. It can give us a lot back in return when we work with it consciously, or else we're going to be abusing it just like we abuse the plants and the trees and the animals and things like that. And just like the plants, the trees, and the animals, check out what's happening. Check out the happening. That movie was not just a joke. Mark Wahlberg facial expressions were funny. But but when it came to that, the plants are getting us back. I believe a lot of these diseases and things, the vaccinations do have stuff to do with that, but as well, the plants are getting us back, and they will get us back because we have been mistreating them. But as well, the technology that we call ourselves so-called creating, I believe it is something that's creating coming down from somewhere else. That's what I believe technology is, but we're abusing it. We're abusing it. We're taking advantage of it. We are really taking, yes, what it is. We're taking advantage of the technology. And what does that mean? That means everything that we're starting to see now and using it, technology to control other people, like with nuclear weapons, or using social media to control other people or pictures. Just y'all see how we're doing. Y'all see how we're doing with technology and using it to change the minds of people and flood in order to control, in order to have mass manipulation going on to the point where regular Joe old folks don't even know they being manipulated. They could be looking, smiling a little more than the person that so called is holding on to more so called truth. And that's what scares people away from going deeper and deeper, because the personal responsibility really shapes you into being a cold but extremely hot, like both sides of the spectrum type warrior. You're not cold, I just want to kill everybody because I'm upset, and you're not just like extremely hot where you're just like, yo, why are y'all so upset? Why are y'all so happy? Everything is good. Whatever's in your mind, just ignore the bad and focus on the good. People do they like it's so different parts of the spectrum, but when you combine them both, that's when you get like, all right, I am here. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's just let's go out into the world and talk. Just talk. Not go out and convert people to say this is what's true. You're wrong. You're wrong. You need to change your ways and things like that, or you're going to hell. Cause that's more power. That's more control. That's exercising more control of damning people to hell, because we are all co-creators, creating this all in the aggregate. We're all creating everything that we see. So us damning people is because they're not fitting a idea in your head is just like the preacher that's saying you're going to hell because you won't believe in this ideology. You won't believe in this certain way. And that's how it goes on that spectrum. That's how it goes on that side of, yeah, that's how it is. Just tie, just tie, just tie. Just think about these things, guys. Man, remember I said do not recreate anything that you see on the Psy Tai podcast. This is a microdose day. A microdose day. And the attentiveness to my body is there. It's there. And most people, and that's how America's gonna get tricked, that we're so unaware of our body, we're not exercising properly, we're not eating healthily, and we're not talking healthily, we're not holding healthy ideas in our head. So we're gonna project. Like where that's how the social programming is. Instead of believing that we have the power, we're giving up our energy. We're using our energy to create gods, to feed these other gods that are being created by just other men. Look at it like that. Look at it like that. Yes, I will check out American Gods. I have not watched that yet. People keep recommending it to me, but I'm gonna check out American Gods. But we are creating gods all the time. Apple, Microsoft, Google, the president, the preacher, everything. We're creating gods. We're creating gods. And we need to know that we need to fulfill things in ourselves and not falling for the trick of the money, power, and the respect way of fulfilling yourself, but fulfilling yourself in a way of, hold on one second. Ah, okay, I thought it cut off. But in a way of fulfilling ourselves, of being part of a community, being part of a legit, real community where we share ideas, uplift each other, but also talk to each other about what's going on in each other's lives when it gets to that point where we can say, thanks, bro, thanks, sis, thanks, human, thanks, me, thanks, reflection, thanks, fellow reflection. Like we gotta get to that point where we willing to just talk about anything to anybody. Because when we hold things in, if it's just more aggression that builds up and leads to more people being able to take advantage of of the baby mind, because we wasn't a lot of people wasn't raised in a secure household. A lot of people, myself, I was not raised in a secure household. My grandma was my dad. My mom was my dad. And it was my mom and my grandmom, and I had my nana and things like that. So that was more pressure on them to now conjure up all of these energies and try to blend them together, because everybody has the power to do anything that anybody can do. But when it's under, and especially but when it's under terms of panic and pressure, you are able to access that. That's why we give power to single moms and people that did things, because they access that realm. But we're able to access that realm, I believe, without going through panic, without going through chaos. Because then in that chaos, and when we're dealing with it in this realm and not just in our heads and like psychedelic dimensions and things like that, but when it's just chaos in this world and you think, yo, this world is shit, like damn, fuck, why this had to happen, and why this had to happen, and why me, oh man, why me? When that keeps happening, it has a huge effect. It has a huge effect on how those energies are now blended together. And now it's blended together in a way that's not going to be as beneficial if you had the tools and the correct knowledge on how to operate yourself, on who you really are. Like, imagine if a computer just became sentient and it was trying to operate itself and could found clear out a virus, but it never did it before. But it know it can do it. It's like, oh, I have the virus protection program in me. I know, but I don't know how to access it. So then it probably do some winky dick things and go into the hard drive and try to delete it itself, or do some other things, and now it deleted the wrong file and it corrupted it, or accidentally dragged this file to the another folder, but it happened so fast that he didn't know what folder it dropped in, and that was like a critical file, a critical XMG file or something like that, and now the whole program won't work. Let me make sure this is still working. All right, I just had to make sure that this was on my phone still on. Yeah, now the whole computer system and things won't work. So that's wild. So that's how it is with our bodies. Hold on one second. Because if it was stuff on here. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Sorry about that. Oh, wow. Yeah, guys, none of this was coming up on my phone. Okay, okay. Hey, guys. Yeah, for some reason, all y'all was there, but I had the phone for that reason, but it wasn't working. I'm going to close it out, go back in. There we go. Yeah, guys, I'm going to give a little stop real fast. What's going on, Matt B? What's going on, Void? What's going on, You Well? What's going on, the Astro Way? You know, I like to give them shout outs. But that's what it is. Okay, now we back on board. We back on board. Y'all probably like, man, this nigga don't hear nothing. but yeah, just Ty, guys. Welcome. Oh, welcome to my conscious field. I didn't know y'all was here. But yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on. That's what just what's on my mind. That's what's just on my mind after watching Mark, because it rejuvenated like that spark of like, yo, this is what started me on this path. That is, we are actually. It's a lot of things going on that I was falling for, and that other people are still falling for, and that's just the way it is. And I'm getting back to the, getting back to what I was on. Let's put this right here. All right, it just says something to talk about. It's going to be a lot. It's going. It's just ah. It's all good. It's all good. Hold on. I'm getting into Moses now in the herbs. Hey, hold on now. Hang on. Not right now. Because I'm already trying to remember what I was talking about. What? Yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. I forgot what I was talking about. but you also I'm getting into Moss. I thought it said Moses. Yeah, I just now read it. I just now read it. I was like Moses. The acacia bush. I thought you was already into that. DMT. But moss now in the herbs. I don't know that much about that, about moss. But yeah, what this why did it freeze again? But the go back the ground what I was talking about so I can go back what was that sciencism and religion are still belief systems that that just we gotta look out for. That we gotta look out for, and the social engineer program and things like that. Oh, what's going on, Psychedelia 77? Yeah, we all man, we all aliens for real, for real. It's like we here, we here. I don't know, guys. Yo, I just had this thought of what if an alien alien appears just in the AI, or is that the AI? Like, say we in the virtual world and some glitches or something happened, and it made yeah, this is a weird episode because I can't see the camera when it cuts off for real, for real. I don't know if it's the phone cutting off, or I don't know if it's the thing saying it needs to reconnect and I gotta restart the app. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I didn't know that the tablet cut off. I thought it was just my phone. I thought it was just my phone saying that it wasn't connecting. So it's a lot of checks and balances. I mean, I got the new setup. The tablet is like a couple feet away from me. I don't even know where I cut off at. But for all intents purposes, I was talking. I think I was mentioning synchronicities and how I wanted to read the Arthur C. Clarke books on the Space Odyssey, and I had that book tab open in my Alien AI. That's where I left off at. Wow, that was a while ago. All right, yeah, I got some new thoughts on that actually. Got some new thoughts on that. But real fast, this is a shirt idea I was actually working on. I drew that dragon about a good 5 years ago for the book, and I put it around there. And this is another one that I have real fast before I get into Alien AI. Just got the. Oh, you can't really see it on there. Eh. Yeah, you can't see it. What else? But yeah, Alien AI. It's a lot of I think it was the guy that worked with dolphins. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was him, but it was some guy that was talking about how AI is actually an alien. And in my realm of reality, my experiences when I see computers called Alienware, and those are like one of those the best computers, the Alienware computers. And what I mean by best, they got the fastest processors and things like that. They're able to play games. They're able to play games at real high revolution. Resolutions. They at real high resolutions. And it was called Alienware. I remember thinking about that as a kid. And when I was watching the dragon one is like Fox Bean, I know. Ooh, it's like a Fox Bean that you know. Mm. And yeah, these are intelligence. And the guy, what was that? On the holodeck of the Google. If you watch the holodeck, then revealing the HoloLens 2 demonstration, they the guy that's talking, he has an alien on his shirt. And it's like a fractal kind of alien too. And is on his shirt while he's introducing this new augmented reality awesome Google Glass that contract your hand and use your hand as the controller. So whatever it is, so you can actually interact with holograms. Like how I'm interacting with this Buddha statue right now and able to move it around and things of that nature. Oh, I just watched Paul. I watched Paul last week. The two guys that went to Comic Con, and then they had to take care of this alien, and they ran into the girl, and she had to get she was a hyper Christian, and he just blew her mind on like what actually religion was and things like that. Paul was cool, and that he came down a long time ago, and the lady, that was the biggest part to me, that it was a lady that was told that she was crazy forever. And when she saw him again, she was like, "Yo, people thought I was crazy, but you're back. You're actually the same one I seen." And when they was talking about the technology as well, that's one thing you was hitting to. When they was talking about the technology and where it was coming from, they reveal a lot of movies. That's why I like comedy. It's like in this life, you gotta watch a movie to be able to pinpoint some stuff together. Mm. But yeah, I did see Paul. I did see Paul. But mostly just in my mind, I keep thinking about Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen know a lot. Well, aware of a lot. Mm. Remember, guys, this is Psy Tai Podcast, and do not recreate anything we see on this screen. This microdose got my eyes just. Feeling light. I'm feeling good though. And oh yeah. All it would take is an old alien ship that they died on in space to crash here. Oh, the only reason I say not recreate Astro Way is for it's because it's illegal. it's I'm not going to tell anybody to do anything that's that's illegal. That is illegal. That's the that's it. But the ones in the yeah. All it would take is the alien ship that died. Yeah, we need and it's wild because a lot of people that are intelligent but are huge into conspiracies are now prepared for a fake alien invasion. They saying, "Oh, the government has been preparing." Hold on. Yeah, they saying, "Oh, the government has been preparing us for this fake alien invasion." So when we see it, Project Bluebeam, that's what they call it, Project Bluebeam. It's really just going to be hologram in the sky so that they can control you more. But these aliens really don't exist. And I went down that rabbit hole. Nah, they exist. They're here. It's not fake. It's not fake. It's not fake. But, that's what that guy, the dolphin guy, about the AI intelligence. I believe he was saying, yeah, we was tired. We went past that. We went past that. Talking about how AI could be from an alien coming into our wanting to be part of our society, but it's not. It's nothing like what we think it is. It's nothing like what we think it is. But the tech, or it can be AI technology is something that this advanced. Well, or it can be AI technology as part of this advanced. Woo, woo! They like shut up, Steph. I mean, Ty. Alien, alien technology. Yo, I really don't want to say this and it's cut off. All right, forget this phone right now. But that alien technology is a weapon or something that's used from this advanced race of whatever, and they just send it down through human consciousness and things like that, and slowly building their way up. I don't know. I lost the point. I lost that. Oh, wow, I really lost it. I don't know. I just think, what if this whole part of whole one huge plan, part of one huge plan from some other race of whatever. Like race is just something that we use to say that you come from this country and I come from this country. But what do you call it when you from another dimension? They is this is know by us as closest planet you can survive on. Also, the mushies could have been on that world millions of years ago, so they have data in them or connection to that world still. Yeah, I see where you're going at. I see where you're going at, and that's why the technology, the people that probably that were dealing with aliens, so to speak, of things in the 50s and the 60s that we hear about in the 40s, that they were probably they were dealing with the mushrooms. That's why in the movies when they wanted to put it out, the spaceships were shaped like mushrooms, and that these spores um and I just say it was first possible in my mind. I heard this first from Terrence McKenna that spores probably traveled from they can survive in space because space is we know is not what we were told as well, and that they came from other worlds and they came here and sperminated here on Earth, but they were something else on their other planet. But we like most people still see the mushroom as like, oh, that's just a plant. Oh, that's just a plant. Look at it, it's just a plant. I could squish it with my hand. Now it's the squish plant. But no, it's like that's the body that they decided to take. And that's not even their body. The mycelium is really where it's at. Like a terraform plan from before life here is good theory. We just named them aliens in 50s. Yeah, we just named them aliens in 50s. And for some reason, all this was happening. I don't know. I mean, I have a clue, but I must say, just Todd, just Todd, just Todd. Just think about these things. Just think about these things. And it's not, oh yeah, man, I'm all disrespecting the mushroom. The mushroom, guys, fungi is not a plant or is not an animal. It is the symbiosis of both of them put together. It breathes in oxygen. Does it? I'm trying to see, does it do the opposite of a tree? But I know it takes in oxygen and carbon dioxide, and it's not a plant. It's not a plant. Like it doesn't need the sun for that's what it doesn't need the sun for photosynthesis. It does not need the sun for photosynthesis, which is cool when I hear people say that if it's a hollow earth, it's huge mushrooms underneath it there. Um, Before we had other names from angels, godfathers, demons, fairies. Yeah, man, that's how it is. But no, and that's they get their nutrients through the mycelium, through the soil, through the nutrients and everything that's going on. They actually can break down wood and decompose things. They're decomposers of the forest, and that's that's more. It's a mix. They do what they do. Yeah, it breathes in O2. It breathes in O2. You got it. There you go. It- it's all right. And breathes oxygen and expels carbon dioxide like humans. That's what it was. Yeah, and trees do the exact opposite. They breathe in all the taking all the carbon dioxide and push out the oxygen. So then that's what most plants do too. So it's the opposite. Hold on one second. Woo. All right, all right. All right, I now see what you're talking about. The asteroid Tom, thankful to you for this community of creators. Pretty awesome. Hey, it's creating in itself. But I see what you mean. Hey, thanks, bro. We here, we here. Or we here. Well, yeah, before it was aliens, you all right, it was demons, it was fairies, it was angels, it was gnomes, it was whatever term it was. It was whatever it was in your language. and and they always say these beings came down. They came down from heaven, or they came down from this, and then we like, yo, I look up, they ain't heaven. That's the sky. That's this, and they're like, no, that is heaven. It's just accessed in different ways and things like that. You access it with your heart or with your soul, or they come up with all these other things and have interpretations of all these fantastical beings. They have a good heart. When I feel like you show some people it's okay to have a good heart. When you take when people take some types, the mind links to that network or something more is connected to. I'll make sure this is still on. All right. Yeah, it's all right to have a good heart, because a good heart doesn't just mean being all soft and oh, just kill me or I'll kill myself. I'll kill myself for you. But still, it does imply that. It still does imply. It implies everything and nothing. You coming in or out? Sit over there. Love you. Yeah. Just let me know if it cuts off. If it says gotta reconnect, you're gonna be that guy. Gonna be that girl. Let me know if it says it's reconnecting and cutting off. If the screen go black. Something more is connected to. Yeah, man. We connected different links. There's a lot of different minefields going on. And a lot of people not able to get connected to source. A lot of people are I'm just telling you right now, a lot of people are disconnected from source. Whatever title they put on that source. So now that leaves way for a lot of other ways to call themselves the source. Seven inner eyes of self, two outer was dreaming about. Ooh. That's a lot of perspectives. That's a lot of perspectives. Make sure everything caught up. The seven, the seven, the 777. All right, I was all in dream word for a minute. All right, yeah, that's how that goes. That's how that goes. It's alright to have a good heart. And it's alright to still be yourself in the end of the day. It just takes some tools. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. Because most people that want to be good, they're showing a picture of what good is, and they like, that's not strong. That's not strong, though. That ain't gonna get me where, though. But yeah, aliens, man. Extraterrestrials, dimensional beings. Try not to shake. Try not to shake the table. Don't shake the table. These are all cool. These are all cool topics that I like to. That's just cool to talk about. Just cool to tie about. And I'm glad that nowadays we don't have to be. I'm just tying on the Independence Day movie where like people that go out on the mountains, the so-called crazy lunatics they play off in the movies. That's like, we welcome the aliens. We want them to come now. Like, come and save us. Take away all of this. Like, come on, yeah. Like, that's just another trap. That's another trap. That's why, because we already seeing them. We already visiting them. And to think that is some people waiting to come and save us in any shape or form, rather it's the Jesus archetype or the Palladian archetype, like they people waiting for the Palladians. I heard Mark saying this funny joke yesterday, like saying, yeah, they're just getting their hyperdrives in order. They had some crazy things going on in their mechanics, but once they get their hyperdrives in order, they'll be here and they'll be here to help us and things like that. It's like, yeah, they don't want good, they want better, and say to good, forget you till good walks away. Yeah, man, till good walks away, and then they left with trying to control situations to make them feel good. Instead of feeling good, making something feel them good. I knew I did this in my life, making something feel me good instead of already feeling good and then going about the process. And then I'm able to bring about something totally new in that sense. Totally a total new something novel, a novel experience. All right, close this door back now. She left. Get back to this alien talk. This alien talk because we gotta talk about it because when you don't talk about it, it's I don't know, it gets murked up. It gets murked up, and I know this not gonna be out to millions and millions of people, but we are the millions and millions of people in our hearts, So us taking this in and feeling this is putting it out there. In my view, it is putting it out there. This is the work. This is the work. And but I was saying because terms like demons get put I hear this a lot, and I read this a lot in the comments. When people say that aliens are nothing but demons, and they're trying to manipulate people, and this is what was always talked about in the Bible and years ago. Like, yeah, these demons teach you. I mean, not teach you. They don't even say teach. They say they show you a little something, and then they use you to for greed and power and things like that. Psychedelia 77 said, I asked the FBI officer if aliens existed, and he said he wasn't allowed to tell me. Like that word allowed, like he's like he's telling you right there. That's what I don't get about some people. Like they can whisper in your ear, like you're gonna go and say, "Oh yeah, this guy with this badge number told me this." And the asteroid say, "I know. What I know is there is already an order to exist, and everything is in place. It's okay. It seems that each individual is already surrounded by the universe. They are. They are. We are surrounded by the universe. And that's why I don't that's why I say I'm not going out to like point fingers at people and say, "Yo, you doing wrong," or "Yo, dude, you doing this," or like bringing about you right, bringing about that atmosphere is what's going to is what's we see out there still pitting people against each other. Then people get mad at people for being that thing. And in their universe, because the universe is always going to be talking through them, there that person is just now coming off as the monster. If mushies are fungi, are a terraform designed to make life smart till smart enough, it could explain a lot from trips not even on mushies. Could it? Because it could be in, yeah, it could be in people. Like it's Paul Stamos was saying how, and I just say him because he's a scientist. He would say how 650 million years ago, all species evolved from fungi. Like we literally separated from fungi. So with this terraforming idea, and what terraforming is, we can see how we want to do this to Mars, how it doesn't feel like is suitable for humans. So we want to go out there and build domes, and then eventually build that, create an atmosphere and things like that. With the terraforming, that now that we keep evolving, I mean, it's already in us. It's already in us because we come from the mushroom period. Like the scientists, the high level scientists are even saying this now. I sound like Alex Jones. The high level scientists are working with the but Alex Jones, man. But yeah, and that so that it's already inherent in us. And that's why you see some people that are a little quirky. And I was a little quirky even before I started dealing with psychedelics, and how I approach science and concept and ideas and things like that. Because when you start learning about imaginary numbers and mathematics and things, like most of the class didn't get that. Like the square root of -1 and things like that. It was like, what are you talking about? Like imaginary numbers. How I'm supposed to add imaginary numbers? But we have access to these portals, to these, to us. We have so much in our brain, and that just scares me away from government school and things like that. But I have no fear. I have no fear. You get it's still some awesome things that you can get out of public school. I mean, that you can get out of government schooling and get out, because we all came through that system in some shape or form. But just Ty, stick to the subject. What is the subject? And that is that you're able to access these. You just have to. I'm seeing that you just have to really put yourself in those realms and believe in yourself. So I say, just believe in yourself and you can do it. Believe in yourself and you can push yourself. Imagination is the portal to other dimensions. Use your imagination. Use your imagination. Use your imagination. I think that's how strong it is, because that's where all exists. That's where all this information exists. Like it's a another example of a math thing, just to not use my life as example. It's this um boy from India who says that he's like 10, 11 years old. He's probably older now, but he says that he has communication with one of the goddesses in the Hindu religion. You know, goddesses in Hindu, they're not really like saying, oh, we pray to this goddess that actually exists, but they all just different forms of frequencies and vibrations that exist in the universe. They have another different interpretation if you're stuck in that Christianity view of the world. If I'm just talking to you, if you're out there like that. But we all know, y'all know psychedelic. I mean, Astro Way, UL's psychedelia 77, and yeah, also the body being able to self-run, but the mind being on like a quantum link Wi-Fi, able to receive and transmit. Yeah, we gotta be on. We gotta be on. Doubt equals distance. Ashraway said doubt equals distance. But what I was gonna say real quick was that he was able to connect with this goddess, and that's where he said his math came from. And he's like this super genius, and the super genius in the math field. And he's only like 10, 11 years old. And he gives the credit to what I see is created in his I'm not created, but what he sees is already in him, in his imagination, in the other field, in the that quantum link to that archetype that exists in the universe that to him reveals itself as that goddess. He's able to connect with it and download information to his AI body, to his AI self-run mind. And Astroway said doubt equals distance. Like that's why I say believe in yourself. When you doubt stuff, you push that archetype farther and farther away from yourself. And in that three-dimensional field, you see that as now you're just looking up to somebody. You just look up to old heroes of the past, or this person did this person fought in this war, this person changed this law, this person did that. And that's you like give all your attention to that instead of saying, oh wow, I am that person as well. I am that person. When you just see things in 3D reality and look at that, you gotta see it in yourself. And when you doubt yourself, it pushes it farther and farther away. And alert, never doubt what I already know, what I already learned. Yes. DV, they made word they, devil, they made word devil from it the beings of Hindu. Yeah, they couldn't take blue people. They couldn't take snakes coming out of people's backs and saying like this is holy. Blue people and scary like Kali, the god Kali, the scary faces and things like that. Like yo, that's the devil in my book. Like that's what a demon. That's the definition of a demon. And it's because they just more externalization of the baby of being kept in a baby state mind and not really knowing what's going on around you, not really knowing the universe inside of you, inside of you. Like people see scary images and they be like, "Yo, it ain't me." Like no, that is the aspect of emotion of something that's in you and externalized. It looks this freaking ugly. It looks this batshit crazy. So now it looks that batshit crazy. Change some stuff around. But no, it exists. But the thing is, you have to learn how to separate the things you know and the things you think. Yes, thinking is that game I get caught up in the past. And y'all see, sometimes I still integrate in that, getting loosened from the thinking. And I see the only way I'm getting to that is by actually doing more. Is doing more. When I meditate, I meditate. But if I'm not doing that, I have to be in a state of action of doing things rather than scribbling in a notebook or like I'm starting to fill up this sketchbook right here. I'll show it later. Just scribbling or filming, doing talking, just anything, guys. I'm just throwing out some other tips out there too. But the Astro Waste is making a huge point saying how the things you know are different from the things that you think. And dealing with the mushrooms is really pushing me to that point because I would be stuck in a point where I'm thinking, and then I'd be like, "Yo, I didn't really want to do this," or "I didn't really want to do this," and it creating more learning lessons in the 3D. But it's like, "Oh man, I already knew this. I already knew this," but it was just I was just the program was real. The program was real. That's how real programs are, guys. And then when I was in the trip, it was just like, oh wow, this is how I feel. This all the thoughts that I thought while I was on the trip in my normal wake in my waking life, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And I feel myself now just shaping things around me just more with a whole heart, not with a cold heart and not with a hot heart, with a heart that's just on fire, just like I gotta change or I gotta disconnect, I gotta run away. I can't take this. I gotta be a minimalist. I gotta do this and that. But just going at it with my whole heart, and just having honest conversations with people around me, or and being honest. That means still thinking. Like honest is still not just dump low and stuff on people, but just seeing where people are and then seeing where you are. Because now that you know how this realm is mapped up and that words change different meanings and have different energies when they go into when they're translated by other people, and because a lot of us, and I see me in the past, I went off as like the guy is saying, yo, you gotta know, 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 you gotta know now, you gotta know now, now, now. And for most people, like just to be shaken up, like, oh gosh, I gotta just shaking up all 24/7 and not really realizing that and not really shaking themselves up, but just somebody else, just so anybody, just shaking them up. It's just cause more, just cause more, just cause more. I don't know where I was going with that, but let's not do that, guys. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Separating the thoughts. So I'm just shaping everything now. I'm just shaping up and becoming more of who it feels though who I was on the inside. And now that it seems like the inside is just being more brought into outer thoughts, and it's becoming more apparent to me with the less thinking that drowns out. And people like, why do you not want to think, or what is wrong with thinking? And it's so weird because thinking is like it's it's wild. It's like all these feelings are similar, but they are not the same. Now I'm trying to separate or learn the difference between my thought from my intuition. Levels. It's like these are feeling. Wait, it's like all these feelings are similar, but they are not the same. Yeah, they are. They very similar, but they're not the same. And it is wild because that's why I feel for people that don't really get a good healing going on or don't really have the proper tools, and they're just like so-called paranoid schizophrenic and things like that, because they on the level. It's just levels and levels that come with just sharing and talking to people like y'all, where we can like figure some things out. There's a lot of people that I see when I lived in Philly just talking to themselves, just walking down the street or just being 7-Eleven, just talking in the air like really loudly, like different voices and things like that. And me myself, I have different hunches. I did have different hunches on things that goes on, and I'm like, yo, if right now I'm trying to see if I want to try to hone it in on like playing with playing cards, like trying to like because that's how I started with LSD. I like had that. I used to have cards on the table and flip them around and like try to guess where it was, or say look at a deck of cards and be like Jack of Spades 22, and just like say the first thing or see if me saying the first thing brought it closer to that card, or it was the thought that I had, because you could see sometimes the thoughts switching up like no this, no this, no this, like, or is the first thought that, or how do you feel when it's a right, how do you feel when it just comes on. Oh, what's going on, what's going on? Hey, I'm gonna butcher this. Nietzsche. 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 I'm gonna say that. Nietzsche. What's up, Nietzsche? Or Nietzsche. Nietzsche. I'm gonna say Nietzsche. Oh, it's funny. Life is funny. Okay, get back on, get back on. But that's what's going on, which is my catchphrase when I'm getting back on track. But welcome to the Psy Tai Livestream. Yo, these trains are real. Like it really be trains of thoughts, and then it's whoo, and then whoo. All right, yeah, that's what we're talking about. The going down, and UL has said, oh, thinking and feelings and how they not the same. How saying I want to try to get the cars and see how I feel, and I really want to do this again on my next trip. If I don't blast off and try to completely blast off, I want to just do some experiments with flipping stuff around, or I don't know. I feel like my intuition goes off sometimes. I ignore it because I mistake it for a thought. I do that too, and then I go and say, "Man, I knew," or I knew," like. But it's so crazy for me, and the example I will use is because this is a past example now that we're through this in our relationship now, thanks to some awesome experiences. But I would be trying to explain something to my spouse about real something. I don't know how to put it, but something real, like sixth, seventh dimensional, so to speak. And but in it, while I'm talking, I'll hear a voice in my head saying, um, like describing to me how it's going to be taken. But so then when I hear that voice, I start talking on another, talking more, saying I gotta add more definition. Or I hear this drop saying I gotta add more definition since she's probably gonna take it like that. Or I don't know. I'm trying to see how I really put it. Oh, it's German. It's German. It means not here. Oh, I remember in school when we wanted to be sarcastic when they say here, president for here, and we used to be like, not here, not here, not here. That means we was here, but we really was not there. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I had to listen to that inner voice. That's what I'm saying. In the past, it was like I would hear it, but I would talk it out loud. Like I would say, I would people say crazy trip. I'd be like, yo, I don't really want to explain this right now. I don't really like explaining right now, but I gotta tell you, I gotta da 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 da. But really, that was me, like really, and I hear it, and it's just the mushrooms now slap me up to saying, listen, listen. Niche. That's how you feel. And it's so wild because then it comes off on other people. And it comes off at other people because then why I say you had to listen to your other voice because you'll start acting out in front of other people and then they'll feel as though they had to calm you down or say, oh well maybe you need to do this or do that. And you shopping before. And what happened? What happened? Did you run across some mushrooms? Oh, thanks. I know. Hey, that's the thing. The doubt. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. If anything. And druids, yeah, druids did mushrooms. The pagans. Well, that's just what the Christians. I'm sorry using the word pagan. That's just what the Christians called their form of worship and devotion. But the Druids, they really did. That's how they was able to see Pan and all these forest creatures and have all the ideas that they have. Had a near death NDE from cannabis. Hey, that's real significant. A lot of people don't realize how psychedelic cannabis actually is. It really is a psychedelic. And you, hey, if it comes your way, or if that's how far you want to go, that's as far as you go. Hey, it's all about whatever it is you're comfortable with at the time. And the information for me, just taking the different information just shaped what I was what came to me. What came to me. Like I didn't at first seek out to do this. It was just like it's here. Just hit my chest. It was like it's here. But just for the scientific record, YouTube, is that psilocybin mushrooms have been found to be um physically less damage, physically less harmful than cannabis. And you know, everybody toting away. Everybody toting away. And normal to me doesn't I mean, normal to me is so broad, because a lot of people, I thought I was normal until I had to, until I started talking. Yeah, it's just I would suggest do some just find some guided meditation, or I don't know how it is out there in Germany with the forests and things like that, but go out there and really just be connected with your thoughts, with no with whatever it is that you do, and see what it's really telling you. Really, like, sit with the fear, sit with that fear that you're talking about, and see why it's doing everything, why it's telling you things, why it's pushing some things away, why it's attracting you to certain things in certain ways, and let it talk, let it talk, let it talk. Nicotine made the ganja stronger. Yeah, nicotine does, cause I used to smoke L's and tobacco wraps and stuff, and it does perpetuate the high. I don't know where that word came from, but it does it does make the high go up. It makes the high go up. So it is something about that. Probably try smoking it out of a bong or out of a vaporizer, because weed is legal. I could talk about that. You could smoke it out of vaporizer or something like that, and or try let's say an edible and just plunge right into it. But nah. It's whatever it is, man. But yeah, whatever your mind comes into, because nicotine is something too. Nicotine does work with your focus and things like that too. Does that is all plants do something. All plants do something. And nicotine has been shown to make you more focused and things like that. Vape then eat. Just let your yeah. I found that it is a huge plunge. It is a plunge, and it seems huge. But when you take the take your first skydive, most people they want to go back skydiving again. But getting into the plane, um, hearing stories about other people that jumped out of planes and then confusing it with plane stories that crashed and things like that, and getting into the plane, learning, going to school of, oh, we're going to do this and jump off the plane, you got to pull this, and learning all the ropes and going. What I'm really trying to get to is going up to the helicopter and going flying higher and higher and higher, closer to the clouds, and then having somebody there probably, and jumping out of the plane. You see the world for what it is, for what you see that your how significant all the worries that you had are as you flying above the earth. And then when you come down, you had the person with you. They was guiding you through the fall down, and you had all the wind was hitting your face. You felt alive for the first time in your life, or more alive, and you're like, "Yo, this is real. This is what's really going on. This is how I should be feeling. This is cool. I'm able. I'm not thinking about tomorrow or yesterday. It's just now." And the thoughts that arise to you while you falling out of the sky from thousands and thousands of feet up, and then when you land and the person help you land back on your feet, and you run across the little field, you see the parachute behind you and things like that. And then you come down and you say, whew, that was a trip. That was a trip. You go home, you tell some friends, some people gonna be like, man, that was crazy. That was crazy. And and then you gonna be like, but it felt so good. It felt cool. And then some you probably go and do it again. But it's all about that skydive analogy. Just tie, just tie, just tie. Just think about that. And say, oh, y'all went off into something else. He said, I learned about talking to animals today. Do you know about that? Do you do that too? Oh, same. I'm gonna go down the whole list. Oh, same with plants, by the way, said Nietzsche. You all say, yeah, you have a nicotine system. Other plants have it, but low amounts. Yeah, plants talk, people don't listen. No one, and then Nietzsche said, no one teaches us the important things. That's why we grow up and we learn all the nonsense only. It's crazy that cigarettes are made to kill you, but they are still legal. So is food. Yeah, it's all about just. I think a psychedelic was saying was about how, um, psychod how nicotine is legal and things like that, but other naturally occurring plants like mushrooms and cannabis is still illegal. Cannabis is still legal in many states. Still illegal in many states. But yeah, Niche, what you were saying about animals, yeah, animals do talk. The animals do talk, and for the world, that's how they come up with all these documentaries where you hear the narrator talking, and they say, well, this is that, and the animal feels and stalking the prey, and blah, blah, blah. That's some level of it, but it goes even deeper because I have a dog now. His Rudy, and I knows when he's hungry, when he wants to get pet, when he just wants to play, when he wants to go outside, or just all these. He knows when I'm leaving. I hear him talking to me when I'm leaving. I could just be putting on a shirt or something random, or just have the thought of, oh, I want to go outside, and then here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. I'm like, yo, I don't even got my shoes on. You, it start off like being the shoes as a symbol. You would think like, oh, the dog just saw the shoes at the symbol. He know, but I be hearing him. I'm like, yo, Rudy, I'm sorry, you can't come right now. I'm like, all right, Rudy, come on, we going. And he be all hype, jumping around and things like that. And just random animals and cats I run around. I mean, I run around. That I run across? Yeah, they don't have human concepts, but can learn them. They do learn them. Like they know what's going on. They know what's going on. And you can go to their world of where they exist in, where it's not um I say words, but it's not like like um like how you hear me talking, like you hear me talking. It could probably be translated to that, but it's a feeling. It's a feeling of like pictures, or I don't know. It comes as pictures, but it's more of a feeling thing. It's more of a vibe thing. And but the more you're, like you well said before, people don't listen. You gotta listen. You gotta know that you can listen and not like see yourself as crazy. That's why you got your dog people and cats people and animal lovers, and then you got people that do say they love animals and things like that. But when you they ain't really there. And I can say that because my mom is one of those type people. We had so many cats growing up because as soon as they would do something that would irritate her, they were gone. And now my little sister Cece is so connected with animals. She like to go and rescue animals and things like that. And it's plants as well. They really communicate. And it said there's this lady. Her last name is you're gonna put that is Brighton Batch. Brighton Batch. Yeah, that's straight up telepathy. straight up telepathy, and probably even deeper levels of telepathy. And she you said she does telepathy with them, and I tried it outside the grocery store today, and it worked. Well, what did she try it on? Oh, man-made stuff do has communication. You right about that. That's why I was talking about how we need to be more relating to our technology. Like my tablet, no, my tablet name is IRAD, and my computer name I changed it to Silly Cybin. But when I talked to him, it was oh, I forgot his name before I turned it to Silly Cybin. But when they asked us to name our devices and things like that. I believe that really is something. That really is something. Fernande, that's what I called my computer, Fernande. I said, yo, Fernande's not working right now. Yeah, that's what you did it with. An angry dog. And what the dog just, he sat there, I was about to ask what he do. He sat down after a few minutes and was quiet. He's like, oh, you do hear me. You do hear me. And that's why I believe these animal trainers, like people that why did the orcas come into my head? Free the orcas, free the orcas, free the killer whales. But people that you see, um, that communicate with animals and they're able to do all these awesome show routines, like have them do run through hoops and sit and do backflips and all of these things. They're communicating with them on that level. And it takes training, it takes belief. It takes belief. And also that guy that used to be on Discovery Channel, Animal Planet. They used to go to people's house and talk to their pets. And then they'll get some big changes afterwards, like, oh, I didn't know that about him. Them shows was legit. Them shows was legit. Probably had some production crap thrown in there to throw us off a bit, but I believe them guys was legit. After you tune with them, it's like getting on Wi-Fi channel. Like, what's the password? Oh, you saved that password or you memorized the password? We're gonna keep going. As soon as you come into range, we there, we there. I put the picture of his owner coming back out and taking him home in his head. He expected that as good enough, I guess. Yeah, it isn't. That's cool. That's cool. So he probably was sitting there like, and then just visioned the picture. It came out, just doop, and then you incepted him. You incepted that doggy. But that's how what I do with my dog to let him know that I'm gonna be back and that everything is okay. So I know exactly what you mean because every time my dog was a rescue dog and he was a stray before that. So he he don't like us to leave him, especially me. He does not like when I leave him alone. And he's just getting used to the family more, but he did not like when I leave. So I'll always have to come. He'd be barking for like 10 minutes and you hear him down the street. That's how wild it would be. So I was nowadays I like let him know I'm gonna be all right through words, and also while I'm talking, I'm picturing what I'm talking about. And I'm doing this more in my everyday life period too. Just even more and more. Like while I'm talking, I see something. I see what I'm talking about. I see it. And I believe that's a deeper level of communication that we can all come up, we can all hone in with so much more readily, and then we'd be able to really see what people feeling, like really see how we feel. And because we be saying words when we want to communicate to loved ones, but we feel like, man, this ain't really, I just wish I could just, man, but if we all on that communicating level of picture talking, of telepathy and things, we can vibe. We can vibe out. I think that's why artists be connecting so easily. But then I'm thinking about artists and just artists out there that we see in the celebrity fields and just out there and things like that. Why they be connecting, but still we gotta. There's still little iffy things go on, things like that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to leave. We also use tone and voice to transmit more meaning, but it can also be mistranslated by them. Yeah, depending on trauma or culture, culture and things like that, things are taken culturally, like the N word. N word can have a whole, the nigga have a whole lot of meaning in it. But then somebody else say, or you say to the wrong person, or say to this, it can, you can seem like you dehumanizing a person, bringing up a person. This is, I know what you mean. You know exactly what you mean. And a lot of people not accepting of that either. Of, oh well, you using it that way and I don't accept it, so you can't use that word. And that's where we getting tripped up today. Like we do put more meanings into our words, but it takes for people to really feel and literally see what you're saying. Like people say this and they talk like, "Do you see what I'm saying? Like, do you see what I'm saying?" That's an actual thing, right? Let me make sure this is still connected. Whew, still live, still live. Hold on, I'm getting a little chilly. It's wild when I get like this though because I'm sweating, but I'm cold. Like I can be shivering right now if I wanted to, if I allowed myself to. But I'm sweating. Like my hands have sweat on them. My hands are sweaty and everything. And so when people go through on their trips when they be saying they cold and they don't know why they cold, but they hot at the same time. Like I go through that during these shows when it feels though I'm really doing something. I used to get this in school a lot too. And I'm not nervous. It's not about, oh, am I nervous? Or it's not off of nervousness. I'm in Cali. I'm in NorCal. Yeah, content also plays part in translation. The content is what we talking about. That's why at the beginning of the show, I try to bring us all in the same boat. Now we can start the conversation. That's what that all means. Now that we all in the same boat, we can start the conversation. Like get us all in a similar vibe before we just start pitting off ideas and say, whoa, well, and then we're like, whoa, I ain't really mean it like that though. It's it's raining today. It's raining where I'm at now. It's rain. It's like a rainy season. Cause I'm used to East Coast weather where we have summer, winter, spring, fall. Here is like summer, a little spring, summer, and then winter. I mean, just a little cold. But that cold is because it's raining all the time. So it rains for like a good 2 months, 2 3 months straight, like for on and off, like every other day, and then it's back to the get back. But it was warmer like 3 days ago, and I felt the rejuvenation of the sun. I was like, "Oh, this how the sun feel. I don't want to go back in the house. I want to stay outside all day. I want to sleep outside." That's how I begin. I want to just sleep out here. I want to do everything outside. I find it hard to converse. You find it hard to talk to other people. You mean? Oh yeah, keep the rain. But the rain is necessary. Rain is all necessary sometimes. Like I said, that's why I'm glad it's here. It's here for a season. It's here for a season. In the East Coast, it can be raining and random storms like all summer long and things like that. Here, it's not going to rain for months, which was weird to me too. It's not going to rain or anything is not going to fall from the sky for months. Which I want to experience in the other realms and like really see what's going on. But I see it does bring about compared to the East Coast and West Coast vibes, especially the upper part of the city where it gets cold compared to here. The vibes and the different people that it creates in the program or just in the play of life, so to speak. I don't know how to put it out right now in a definite term. People on the East Coast, they seem a little more cutthroat, a little more edgy, a lot more edgy, a lot, not even a little, a lot more edgy than this. That's where a lot of my edginess comes from. A lot of my edginess came from the East Coast, but with the West Coast, it's like more sun and some rain and stuff sometimes. So it's more being able to be, I don't know, more sunnier thoughts, however you want to put it. Yeah, I like the rain. I actually have, guys. I should be. Well, no, I'm doing this, but I actually have. I recorded the last rainstorm that was yesterday, and I want to loop it into like a 8 9 hour video, and so and it was a thunderstorm too. That's what I was waiting for. It was thunder and lightning, so I captured some thunders in it, and I had the good mic this time. I tried it a couple months ago. I didn't really like the sound quality, but I did it a couple days ago. I'm gonna upload that. I'm gonna upload that because back when I say it don't rain that much in California. Sometimes I would play rain sounds on YouTube, and I would just fall asleep to that. So now I'm gonna do that. Sky Wizard. I never heard of that. What's that? Is that an app? I just screenshotted that so I could look it up. But now I just want complete silence. Nowadays I barely want anything to be on, because it seemed like I was in my thoughts, and then I slip into dream world. I just slip off. I just slip off into dream world, into lucid dreaming a little easier instead of distracting myself. It was a lot going on around those times, but the rain is a healing. The rain allows you to heal and gives yourself time to heal, to reflect, to really reflect and calm, because all the random drops at the different times that they drop in, all different things. Oh yeah, that's what they was talking about. I didn't know who you meant. I'm becoming an old grumpy version. It seems they are getting on my nerves with that cognitive dissonance. No, it's a man or being that controls the weather. Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I was going to say earlier. I think I control the rain and the weather. That for real, for real. I miss cats. I need more cats. This is my first dog. I grew up around cats. I had a cat named Yang. Yeah, a cat named Yang, a long black fur cat. But we couldn't afford to bring him over on the airplane, so I had to leave him back over with my spouse's family. And then they house, something happened to their house. It was a fire, and now Yang Yang Yang, and he was the few cats that I had that actually knew his name like a dog. Like I said, Yang Yang, and he would come over to me. Oh, Yang, he's cool. But yeah, I'm gonna get a cat. I'm waiting till I get a house. Actually, my daughter says she wants two cats and a dog, and we just keep telling her we have to wait until we get a house. We're in a little 2 bedroom apartment. Yeah, the dog named Yang. And there's something about that. Oh yeah, it does get like that niche sometimes, and getting grumpy, getting grumpy, and thinking that you can't communicate with people around you and things like that. But if you need some, if you want some things, it was the movie 1,000 Words by Eddie Murphy. 1,000 Words, and it was a real cool story on how to go about, on how I learned to shape, on how I'm shaping up my life into in this realm of reality, because a lot of people are not going to understand things that I wish to talk about, that I wish to talk about. And I don't want to be grumpy about it. I don't want to go around saying, "Man, people ain't fucking listening to me." And cuz then that will shape me into doing things so that people can like me and push me farther away from my path. I don't want a cat. Dogs be nice. Cats are cool. What you got against the cats? The they mm. Most people be like, cats don't do nothing. But cats be doing something. That's why it seem like they ain't doing nothing. They not here. They're not present. But they are. Synchronicity can only happen in places you look. LOL about house. I'm keeping that in my head. I'm keeping that strong in my head that it's going to come. It's all. I'm not going to come. It's already here. It's already here. I gotta look around and see myself here, but I'm already somewhere else. When I walk around, and this is a visualization technique I learned from my aunt. She said this is how she got her house, and I learned, and I just feel this myself when I walk around different neighborhoods, in Chico where I'm at. I visualize myself living in these houses that I walk by. I'm like, yo, I see myself living in there, and not even just saying. I see myself walking through the door. I see myself just enjoying that house, and not in a place of envy, as if oh I'm shit right now. I need this, or just oh cool. I like this. I like that. Oh, cool. That's cool. That's cool. Forming stuff in my head that I like. Forming stuff, feelings that I like, so that my environment can then shape itself accordingly. Shape itself based off how I feel. And yeah, you write about the synchronicity because I had I was holding the idea of me reading Arthur C. Clarke's Space Odyssey books. And but I kept saying, no, man, I want to go back to the Epidorpa, but I'm like stuck on how I want to do that because I keep having this thought or inner intuition. That's what I'm saying. It happens with me. If I want to read the book or if I want to just keep saying, let's read these chapters and we tie on it. But it's kind of in me to like do an audio book version of this thing for some reason. Thanks, man. I'm taking it in. I'm taking it in. Thank you. Although I have an issue when I lose limit control when I'm driving, I become the people in houses I pass. Yeah, that's it's like that. I was if for somebody is in a window, I know exactly what you mean. I see myself as me and their when me as them fixing a curtain, looking back outside and like their family life, and I be like, oh, they got all their cool. I start looking at the architecture of their house and why they chose that architecture, or how their family life is. For some reason, it just be flashing, and how you said, just flash. So I don't drive now. I just caught what you say. Don't drive now, but that's your movie. That's your movie, bro. When I drive around, I get incepted into other people's waking realities of them inside their house. And then but I don't want you to crash though. I don't want you to crash. I don't want you to crash. I do be walking. I do be just be walking. I ain't behind no mechanical device. So if I zone out, most I'm gonna do is run into a tree or a pole or walk in the street or something like that. But yeah, that's talking about the Arthur C. Clarke. I wanted to read it, and I had the tab open on my tablet, like on Chrome for the longest, saying, oh, I'm gonna open up that tab. But then I was like, I gotta go back to the first books. But I had the third one because it's three Space Odyssey books, three Space Odyssey books. But I had the third one open, so I went to Goodwill yesterday, and lo and behold, I run into, and remember the thrift store just all random books. It's not just like a set thing. But lo and behold, I run into this one, Arthur C. Clarke 2061 Odyssey 3. And that's the same book that I had the PDF of. It's only $2. That was cool. And then not only that, but I ran into the second one because I said I wanted to actually read them. So I ran into the second one. I don't know, and that was pretty dope. It was just there. It was just there. And now so I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna read. I don't know if I'm gonna keep these to the side until I read the first one, or if or if I'm gonna go and just watch the movie. And say, "LOL, it's crazy even sitting as passenger." that's how far you. That's how opened up your channels are. But are you able to God. Are you able to relax with it? Is it a relaxing situation or is it like a paranoid situation when it happens? How does it just occur? How does it bubble? Does it bubble up? or is you just thrown in, plunged into it, or are you used to it by now? But you said you don't drive though, so you ain't that used to it. Or it's just that distracting. It's just that engulfing. It's that overwhelming. That might have tea. Mm. And I was just reading the back of this. This was another book I ran into. Michael Crichton's The Sphere. I heard about this book, but I don't really know. I don't really know what it's about. It just sounds familiar. In the back of it, it says it's not bad. Just I start seeing through their eyes. Oh, I feel you. Yeah, then I know what you mean. Then I know what you mean. I mean, I feel what I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I don't know. I'm not you, but I see what you mean, bro. I see what you mean. But this book had me thinking about USOs, what's really under the water. Cause in the sphere, it says, in the middle of the South Pacific, 1,000 feet below the surface of the water, a huge vessel is discovered resting on the ocean floor. Rushed to the scene is a group of American scientists who descend together into the depths of the sea to investigate this astonishing discovery. What they find defies their imaginations and mocks their attempts to add logical explanation. It is a spaceship at phenomenal dimensions, apparently undamaged by its fall from the sky. And most startling, it appears to be at least 300 years old. Oh, that's dope. A long time ago, I had that when I went shopping. I could feel everyone around me said Nietzsche, and you all said it can overlayer my vision for time. And then he said that was freaking Myers. My throat, God. And you all say, yeah, stores you like feel them in your back. Stores you feel them like in your back. What you mean by that? But for the layer, ooh, that's a big layer. If it's as big as I see it right now, it's like it's just a hmm. Exactly like how you said it. Exactly like how you said it. Mm. Oh wait, no, I'm like watching myself in the past on this video. It's so weird. It's so weird. But it's like it feels like it's me in like this. And then it froze as soon as I thought that. It was like the me just froze. I felt like it was weird just watching me move around in the camera as I'm talking, trying to keep up with myself. And then it's like this other self is trying to keep up with myself. And if you just tell which one is the real me? Which one is the real I? I and me characters. That's wild. But yeah, we all got these wild experiences going on. That's just difficult to explain in words a lot. But I believe these are I don't know if they are or if they're not, but developing superpowers, so to speak, from just looking at where we were just 10 years ago or 5 years ago and stuff like that. We got superpowers. Now you get warm shivers and chingles at times. Yeah, they call them like get goosebumps, get the goosebumps on your skin, like that. Like the dots started raising up and stuff like that. And for y'all out there, he mean like if you ever hear a good song and that song just like you was like, whoo, blew me away. That song got me. Like when this person's singing on the stage and stuff like that. That's the feeling you mean. And I mean once we accept these feelings that seemingly arise out of nowhere, we come in more in tune with our lighter, I don't know, with a lighter essence of ourselves. We're we're tuning up. We're, I don't know, bringing more to this 3D awareness, our lighter essences. So with those lighter essences come us connecting with people's mind space, so to speak, or seeing things from their eyes, from their perspectives, and feeling goosebumps. Like nothing really touch you and things like that, but goosebumps. I was just thinking about in my head about the stage. I just say stage magician is just the separating from like the mongoose magician, which I'm trying to all become a thing. Like, is it still on? All right, all kind of things. But it's a move where they tap each somebody on the shoulder and things like that, and then somebody would say, "Oh, well, I felt the tap on my shoulder too," but they was like distance apart. I don't know. I believe we're all connected on some bigger fields. We're all connected. Not believe. I don't believe. Been experiencing that we're all connected on some other deeper levels, on some other, and we have these senses that we're just not in tune with, and it's all about we're just not in tune with those senses. So all the weird things that's coming off is weird. It's just that's it's weird because we never sensed it before. And it's just even weirder because we can't go to a so-called supposed one book or something to say, yes, this is why this is happening, this is going to happen now, and no, no, no. It's like not no one book. It's like we are the living book. We are that book right now. There go the comments. I'm like, it was more right there. It wasn't coming up. But like that, but in patterns, do you find that you always come across a reflection of yourself at each level? Yeah, let's use frequencies. Let's use frequencies. Like with the technology, I'm gonna get back to astral way, but yeah, with the technology with five, I don't know, with technology and stuff, their 5G technology is a higher frequency of bandwidth and things. So it's like that bandwidth, all of you could say already exists, and we're tapping into it and so called creating it. So now we can move faster and do all these other things. Like the internet is now getting a greater sense of the world around itself, or having a greater experience in this 3D, in this world right now by growing up. But the astral way, do you always find yourself coming across a reflection at each level? Yes, 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 yes. And the way that I find that it's a reflection is if I feel as though I'm getting upset about it. And if I feel as though I'm getting bubbled up about something, it's like, yo, this is a reflection right now. This is me right now because I always understand it, and that's what be getting me, because I be like, yo, I understand it, and that's what makes me not like it more, because like I know where it's coming from, and that makes me not like it. And certain things pop up at different levels, even with people, even with certain people, so to speak. And people are individuals, they run their own lives, but sometimes when you're in those experiences, everything seems as though you created everything you're looking at. People have been reaching out to me at higher levels. I find that hope is always there at each spiritual level, so I never feel alone. Oh yeah, on that level as too. I'll never less alone than when alone. That's why I want to get back to that Epidorpa book. Never less alone than when alone. And that book came to me at a time where I was coming to these conclusions because it was kind of before psychedelics. So I was reading alchemical texts. So I was putting my imagination out there into the what you're saying about levels and things. These people are present to me as truth. I can tell through synchronicities in my intuition. I don't believe in that higher or lower level concept. There is something off with that. It's all concepts. It's something off about it because it's a concept that we're trying to put into words. But just using these terms just allow us to communicate with each other something that we already know or hope is going on in a similar friend head or something like that. But it is we can go real deep into that, but it's something like that. I know what you mean. He said, Ashway said, the people have been reaching out to me at higher level, found that hope is always. And then he said, these people are present in my. I read that. It seems to me that everything in existence is reflecting off of everything else in some sort of balance of all things. And that is so true. That is true. And that's why I brought up the anger because now is the anger is being lessened because I was giving an example how somebody stole my bike and the anger was like gone, and I see that as a reflection because people like to steal bikes. But my mind is jumping around right now. It's full song. We could sing that controls higher and lower with the silence in between. Just never right. No, but communicating is part of the great work. It's just shaping this environment. But I'm gonna get back to that too. What you say? Hmm. Okay, I'm okay. I'm doing good. Thanks for checking on me. But yeah. Let me close this. Every single thing is checks and balances and thing. That's why I said with anger, that was just that's just how I was getting to it. And now it's like that's even lessening because my last trips I wanted to deal with the anxiety and anger that I was feeling towards whatever it was. And I'm seeing that was towards myself. It was towards unlocking more things in myself because it was projections that I was just getting confused about. I was just getting confused about a lot of stuff, a lot of things. And but the even the people that I'm running across in my life, so you say, so with that I could say with my spouse, my girlfriend, she's but yeah, I'm gonna talk about this complexion. That's why I feel that everything is in place or everyone is on their path. It seems like each person is slowly making their way towards the underlying truth. Yeah, it's all about slowly, fastly. That's all still our judgment on that part. Cause just saying slow, just whatever it is whatever it is. Cause I will get upset about it was a time because I microdose, so these thoughts always be coming. I just whatever. But it'll be times where I'll be asking, like, what am I supposed to do with my relationship? Because sometimes in the past I'd be like, yo, I don't know what's going on, and none of this is going. Hold on, I go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, come right back. And just dealing with reflections, not y'all diving too deep into it, but it would be. It came to me because I didn't know what did I say. This person is so opposite of me. Like I understand what's going on, but it's just so opposite. It's so like what's going on, or why is everything I say is like the opposite? She say the opposite or things like that. Or but when we talk, but on the inside we all the same. We all the same, and that's what I was trying to realize. But in the 3D reality, I'm just giving an example of what the mushrooms like presented to me. It presented to me. That's why I got into astronomy even more. Our astrological charts and how, even though she's a literally a Gemini sun and I'm a Sagittarius sun, and on this the zodiac we are completely on the opposite spectrum, and that was just showing me that that was the feeling that I was feeling. Not that we're two separate people, but that on the spectrum, zodiac sign, we're on the opposite side. So if we come off with our thoughts a different way, but what was so magical was that we're both Capricorn moons. We both share the same interrelatedness. It's in different houses, but but we're both Capricorn moons, and and I will always get upset. That's why I say my anger at my not and when I say anger, it's not like it's just different. When I mean anger is so different. But yeah, our core is the same. Is we both Capricorn moons. And also I would say, yo, man, she act just like my mom, or oh, my mom act just like her, and I'll be upset because I will see them doing similar things. I'm like, yo, life. I got to a point and say, yo, life just tricked me into thinking I had to get somebody to act like my mom. Like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on? I was trying to get away from this. I need to have this kind of person in my life so I can build myself up to this and do this and have this kind of lifestyle. But what was going on, I found out that my mom is a Sag moon, a Sag sun like me, and that's why we cool. But they both my Jamina, the my spouse has a Gemini moon, and my mom has, I mean, Gemini sun, and my mom has a Gemini moon. And my mom always saying, "Oh, I know where she coming from. I know she coming, but she relates with me because she's a Sag son." So it's all these reflections going on that now that I'm able to be more awareness of it, I'm able to see how everything is just playing out and families and communities form in order to have all these checks and balances going about. And being upset about it, you probably really are just getting a hint of what's going on in another atmosphere, but you just don't know. You're just not hip to the game. So you just like a baby running around. You know, like, oh well, it's like that. And what's going on in the chat? I said someone says life is a nurturing mother trying to show everyone truth. And well, that's why we are all on our way to the same truth. FO. That's why the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth is the truth. It's like, wow, I know it, but I don't know how to express it using words, so it comes out muddy. What do you mean by opposite? What is the opposite of truth? Oh, that's what she had. What is the opposite of truth? There is no when you put it like that. There is no opposite of truth when you get to when you shed or if not if you shed if you dive into the T to the R to the T to the H, leaving out the U. Could you explain it will help me because the truth exists between the two opposites. On this is just how it comes down, how it comes down in this reality. Like still a angel or a demon or alien or something can come down from this earth, and people still are going to have their and that's the truth. That is a truth that came down and manifested in this reality, and people still going to have they stuff about it. And what I mean by true is this is what seems to be happening. And even truth, I don't use that word truth that harshly, that hard. I use truth as saying all truths are but half truths. All truths are but half truths. If a truth is ever a lie, how could it be true? It's all a story. You got to look at these like uh, these all allegorical stories, alchemical stories. This is all a cooking pot, where somebody wrote down all these words, and they say, yeah, you think you gotta get the bat's tail and the rat's finger and throw in this and this in the pot and you cook in. That's what you we hear the story of what the witches are doing and things like that in the cauldron. But it's something different. It's something different. Truth is like the line in the ever flowing yin yang. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Truth, you all said, what was truth in the moment is not truth in the next. Yeah, it's not truth in the next. It's the truth of the moment. It seems to me, actually, I said, it seems to me that if something that's not staying as true, then it's not true, or it is not the absolute. But the absolute stands like we are all self. This is true at every level. And the only reason why it is true, like at the perspective that we on right now, it truth is truth. Like the absolute is the absolute way out there. But for where we, cause I'm there, which I'm just bringing it down to 3D, bringing it down to 3D. What is true, it said not to be true. And it's like logic and stuff makes it not to be true. But I know what you, yeah, the absolute truth is the all. The absolute truth is the all. And then once it comes down, it gets diverted. It gets diverted and muddied up. And that's why we are the truth right now. We are the all. But like you said, Astro Way, when we start talking about it, it gets muddied up. Because anything that seems once it's brought down here is muddied up in the sense of where we are. And us, we pushed ourselves so far, realized so much that we have a huge essence of that, of the absolute, of the absolute. So, our vocal pieces, our vocal mouths, it's just it's wow. It's like catch up, catch up. I have found some truths like all is one to always stand as true. That's all good. That all sounds good, but it doesn't make it easier. Yeah, but knowing that it's true, it's not going to be easy. It ain't going to be easy. That's what I gotta say. It ain't going to be butterflies and things like that. They exist. They exist. And sometimes butterflies probably have some things. Breaking in down the truth and lost is lost in moments. Breaking it down, yeah, it's lost. It just it's there and then it's gone. It's there, then it's gone, then it's gone, 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 gone. I mean, the truth doesn't equal knowledge. I mean, knowledge doesn't equal wisdom. Yeah, because knowledge is something that's based off of truth of the moment, you could say. And wisdom is how you deal with those truths by having a sense of the absolute truth. So now you see how those truths start shaping and forming and moving in and out of itself into other spectrums and then go back into it. But yeah, that truth you said that one of the truths you found that we all need to stand together. That's in my first book. My first book that I actually now digitally animated and all that other stuff. One of the, let's not give away the part of the climax. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. My daughter is trying to scream louder so that I hear her. Oh, she is funny. Not Niche said knowledge comes from the brain and wisdom from the heart. Very different frequencies of knowing. And even yeah, I see what you mean by the brain, but even that, like where's this logic coming from that's keeping us disconnected? Or this just us doing it? Just us doing it in order for the absolute to experience itself as us. I mean, for us absolute. Ah, being able to find the truth in the moment, you're not in hindsight. Is what you well said. Learning with wisdom. Hold on, what did he say? What wisdom is, being able to find the truth in your in the moment. Yeah, because not in hindsight. Because when you do it in hindsight, I see that's when it happens later, and then now that truth changed because you thinking of something, you're thinking of how it could be, or something like that. Or you're thinking of what it should have been instead of seeing how it actually was. And now, since you're in that moment, now you can push that, take that moment and go farther with it instead of just like, oh, because then people make up truths. People make up, people get, it's clear to me. Cool. It's, yeah, not for myself because it get messed up. It gets so muddy. And Ashway say, you are wise. It comes from why. Oh, mind manipulation. That word threw me off. Yeah, it just flowing, just flowing. Hindsight is like when you do something and then you look back at something. When something already occurred and then you go back and look at it. And you're like, oh, and other in hindsight, or that's just I'm trying to put it. I know I don't know. That's just how I see hindsight. Cause then once you start living off hindsight a lot, you start forgetting things that you actually did. You start I see this in my life. You start losing the personal responsibility, the true personal responsibility, the truth of personal responsibility, because you think you have it, you think you're doing it, but when you were so into the situation, yeah, looking back, when you were so into the situation and not connected to the truth of the situation, it was a chaotic situation for a reason. I don't know, I'm trying to put it was a chaotic situation for a reason. And in moments of the past, me, I would think that I was right, or that the other person, or some in reality, some people talking, they would think that they was right, even though at the end of the day, both people still left hurt. And the what we can see now, how much the conversation could have kept going, or for both people to get something beneficial out of it. Now one person is either hurt, or both people is probably hurt, but in the mind of one person or the other one, they like, yo, well, what I was saying was right, what I was saying was true. But if it was so true, when why are we going why is this going on right now? But then you go on with that, and then in hindsight, like looking back and say a little later, you be like, oh well, that was I was telling the truth, or something like that. I lost it. I was telling the truth. I was able to see that I was not so much in the moment as I thought I was. So I wasn't as connected. That truth that seemed to be true then is not true now. So now something else is true. Something else is true. That upper, greater realization, that wisdom thing. You're gonna say, yeah, looking back, you can many times see the truths. 12, 12, 12, 12 on East Coast. That's real 2020 2020 vision. It's the hindsight is still good. It's good for that's what the mushrooms will have you do. Look back with a truthful eye this time, and not just what you were lost in. And he'll bring you back to those moments. And say, this is what you was really doing. This is what they was really doing. And y'all was really balancing out, but really just playing each other like fools. I don't know. It's different situations. Different situations. Probably wasn't playing each other like fools. Probably was just uplifting. But yeah, guys. I think I'm gonna head out pretty soon. I really gotta use the bathroom. Yes, well, we are about to grow. We should be able to turn our world picture upside down more than once if necessary. Yeah, we should be able to. We should be able to. That is a power that we do have. That's why we gotta keep talking. Keep talking. Keep turning your universe upside down. Don't let nobody just shut. Don't let anybody shut you up. Talk that tie. Talk that tie. And a lot of people not gonna be willing to grow. A lot of people not willing to do, but that's just the balance. But if it's nobody talking, then it's gonna be nobody talking. And then who so called wins? If we are playing out this story, then let's play out our character. Let's play out these roles. Let's play out our role. What role we playing? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yo, so Mushies, knowledge is a key to get through wisdom. The wisdom's gates. Mushies 218, 2018. If I keep talking, I'm gonna keep listening to myself. Mm. Um, yo, write them down. Write them down. Write them mushy quotes down. Put them in a book, or if you want, and just call it poetry. Just call it poetry. You don't gotta say change your life. This is the truth. Just like poetry. We're not talking. Hey, we always there. We always there. Some of us still there. You good. You doing good. You found your way to this channel. Expressing yourself now. You doing good. You doing good. Tell yourself that. Tell yourself that. Remember they used to do this to us in school? Give yourself a pat on the back, guys. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a pat. Yeah, laugh more. Really, just laugh. Turn on the comedy show. Turn on the comedy show, man. And Joe Rogan got some cool comedy out on Netflix, like his stand up stuff. If you don't want to sit through a podcast, or just something, whatever makes you laugh. Whatever makes you laugh. Just make sure you do that today. That's why I gotta make some more videos where I'm just encouraged, just laughing. Just laughing. I'm just just make some comedy videos. It's all coming. It's all coming. I'm just letting my thoughts rain. Letting my thoughts rain as I look at the rain. But I'm go, guys. It's been lovely. It's been sweet. It's been all everything that y'all know. And, like this video for y'all's in the future watching this, and subscribe for more. Hit the bell notification. I'm nice and mellowed out. I'm probably gonna go live. I always say that I'm probably gonna go live. I'm gonna see what happens. What happens is gonna happen. And, this has been awesome. Thanks for coming through, you Wells, niched all the way from Germany, the Astro way, all the way from hyperspace, trying to learn how to be human. and, and I know Trip came through. Thorough Trip came through at the very beginning. He's at work right now. But shout outs to all of y'all for coming through. I love y'all. And I'm gonna say, guys, we all tie. But do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. If y'all like this new setup with the camera farther back, let me know in the comments below. Just random thought. But tie always. Talk that tie. I see you guys around. I see you guys around. Adios. Adios. I'm coming. I'm coming. Oh, Austria, not Germany. I saw that at the last minute. Austria.